Tata and Bayana, right?
Tattara bayanai.
Bayane?
Yes.
Okay.
Tattara bayanai da fitar da abubuwan da ake bukata daga cikin shi.
Yeah, I've had several conversations with some of my friends. I'm like, guy, I know they do anything for passion. Let me make the money first, right?
Yeah.
I will chase my passion later.
One of the comments I do receive whenever I post a video explaining a particular field, they'll be like, oh, so all this while, all they are talking about is
just this thing. Excuses don't move you closer to your goals. But the fact that you're sick would not change the fact that the work is not done.
But okay. I always feel like if you have that discipline and you have the mind that you want to really achieve a certain thing, okay. You have to put all your efforts in ensuring that you have actually achieved it. Things will not just fall from the sky just like that.
The truth is, once there's a communication gap, even if you're speaking English, once there's that communication gap, you can never be understood. When we talk about inclusion, right? Okay. When we talk about inclusion, this is a way of giving access to people who might have been excluded, right? In one way or the other. And today we have a guest who has decided to be that specific when it comes to driving message around technology and creativity. She speaks about technology in Hausa language. And I feel like that's some great level of thoughtfulness. It's great to have you here, Zainab.
Thank you.
Yajin Daddy.
We'll go there, Allah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm actually good with Hausa to some level when it comes to greetings. You know, I think I'm good. Yakike is.
Okay, how are you?
Yakike is. There's Yakike and there's Yakaike, right?
That's for the guy.
Okay, Yakaike is for the guy.
Yes.
And Yakike is for
the lady.
Okay, so Yakike.
Lafiya.
Okay, you're fine, right?
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, Zainab, can you just introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Zainab Idris.
Okay.
I studied software engineering for my advanced diploma and also information communication technology for my BSc.
Okay.
So currently, I am working with Data Science Nigeria as an assistant program manager. And also I volunteer for the Google Women Techmakers community, where I serve as the lead for Kaduna and also a co-mentor for the Nigerian ambassadors. And also I found a new hobby of creating content in Hausa language for tech.
Only one person. Cut soup for me. Right, that's pretty impressive, right? That's pretty impressive, and that's a lot of work, right, that you're doing. And everything as I can see revolves around impact, right? Was it that impact that steered your enthusiasm around creating content for Hausa?
Yes, I would say it's that impact. You know, being a community manager, you understand your community, you understand what they need, and you understand what they really want to have or what they understand much better. So I think that's what drives the enthusiasm to actually start the Hausa Tech content.
Wow, great. Don't worry, we'll go deep into it. But let's play on this a bit. Can you like give us like a brief explanation in Hausa, like something around tech, maybe anything, maybe AI or something, or anything that you want to just say around, just for the listeners to just enjoy.
Okay, let me explain. Maybe data science, since that's the field that currently I'm in. Okay, so talking about, I'm supposed to...
You can say it in English, then we'll do Hausa.
Okay, so talking about data science is all about gathering information and making the best, or creating a very beautiful trend, or let's say insights out of it.
Yeah.
So in Hausa language, I would say that tattara bayanai da kuma fitar da abubuwan da ake bukata.
I'm blushing. Sorry, please. Say that again. Tata and Bayana, right?
Tattara bayanai.
Bayanai?
Yes.
Okay.
Tattara bayanai da fitar da abubuwan da ake bukata daga cikin shi.
What's tattara bayanai?
Gathering of information.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm bringing out the insights or trends that are needed out of it.
Great. That's beautiful. I've learned something. Tattara bayanai, right? That's gathering of information, Yes, I'm a good Hausa boy now. So why did you choose to go on this route?
Okay, just like I mentioned earlier, I have been a community manager for like 4 years now. So volunteering for the Google community. So of course I understand the needs of my community, being like a leader or a manager for Kaduna. Of course, Kaduna is the north.
Yeah.
And gradually becoming a mentor again, I still come to realize that when it comes to the northern parts, because this is the parts where I grew up from and I understand my people much better, I realize that our people do shy away from tech. And we always feel like it's something that it's only for those that studied maybe computer science, computer engineering, or any tech-related career. So, and I continue to find out that our people get left out when it comes to things related, like some minor things. It can be maybe doing assignments for students. They can use their smartphones to do their assignments, but you find them at cafe doing such kind of things or applying for things online. Instead of them to use their smartphones, you find them at the cafe doing such kind of things. So I was like, okay, so there's actually a need for somebody to start talking about, or to start really making these things look like they can be accessible at your comfort zone.
Okay.
So that was where I started picking the interest after doing some collaborations with some of the guys that I've met, because there are some guys that are doing it, but unfortunately there are no ladies when I started. There are no ladies doing the Hausa tech. So it was like a kind of challenging moment for me, because there's nobody you look up to, especially a lady, that you love her style or you love the way she passes her message and all of that. So from there, I just started doing it for fun, and with people's corrections, guidance, advices, I started fixing some things, even though it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how the whole thing started.
Beautiful. I believe that a lot of people that were not really interested in tech or the creative space would now be interested because of the fact that you are demystifying tech in your local language.
And one of the comments I do receive whenever I post a video explaining a particular field, they'll be like, oh, so all this while all they are talking about is
just this thing.
So you see,
wow.
So sometimes learning it in your mother tongue, it is definitely much easier than in the English language. But yeah, we have to learn in both.
Okay. We'll dig deep into that, right? Because I think most of the people that are having these issues, right, they're probably raised just speaking outside alone, right? They weren't speaking not a lot of people speaking English around them, right? So what they are very convenient with in terms of their communication is Hausa,
yes.
Right? And the truth is, once there's a communication gap, even if you're speaking English, right? Once there's that communication gap, you can never be understood.
Of course.
Right? Even if I'm speaking for 1 hour and it's English and I'm not communicating effectively, right? And the people that are speaking to understand English, I won't still be passing a message, right? There won't be that sort of clarity, And I just like the fact that you said, the comments that you were getting from some of the people that were listening is that. So this is what in Yoruba they'll say kilagbe kilaju, like, so this is the whole thing that everybody's just all shacked up about, so yeah, I feel like it's a really brilliant one that when I saw that you started doing it, I was like, wow, I wish I could do for Yoruba too. I was like, wow, I don't have the bandwidth for that, right? Because you're really doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
So what are the setbacks that you have faced doing this so far?
Okay, just like I mentioned earlier, it's actually liking someone that is into it, let's say a female that I can look up to.
Okay.
That's the support system, or should I say a mentor. That's something that I find very challenging. And also getting supports from my own community it's another challenge because they are looking at it as, why is she wasting her time doing this? Or she's just trying to be maybe be known, something like that. It's still not something that they really embrace or they understand, but they are understanding what I'm talking about, but they are not understanding why am I even doing it. Like, what's the essence, what's the point? Are you gaining something out of it? Are you getting paid for it? And so on. So, you know, our people can be like that. So I think that's one of the challenges that I'm facing. Then also, availability of resources can be another challenge, even though I, as a content creator, supposed to be the one maybe to provide all of that. But I feel if we have like studios around that you can just go and just do like maybe an hour and you just pay them, or maybe you do some certain minutes and just pay them for the space you use and all of that, that would really serve a long purpose for us. So I think those are my main challenges.
Okay. If BBC is watching this, right, we are seeing what the challenge is. We need to proliferate this news. We need to let this thing spread, right? Because I know there are over, I stand to be corrected, there are over, in the north alone, there are over 50 million people.
Of course.
You get. And of these 50 million people, there are maybe 10 million or 5 million or 15 million who are, their primary language is just Hausa. They don't speak English, right? And the message of tech and creativity has to reach them, right? If Africa has to be like the world talent base, right? So it simply means regardless of the language, right? People are able to, you know, communicate and create content and even be able to offer services, right? So, you know, I understand that part of resources. Resources can be a challenge, can be a huge challenge, right? So yeah, I have a strong feeling that after this interview, you're going to have a lot of support. You know, you have people, you have people supporting and, you know, being able to support with whatever things, right? It might not necessarily be big things, right? But I think like a good camera, a good studio, and all of that can really push the message faster. And, you know, having people adopt these things, you know, you have the likes of USA, UK Aid, and all of these guys, GIZ, trying to, you know, increase literacy, you know. You have the likes of BBC Hausa and all of that, you know. So they could take this thing up and, you know, push it, you get. So yeah, I understand. And also, you know, because of the economic situation, you know, a lot of people are not doing things for passion again. Everybody is, you know, I've had several conversations with some of my friends. I'm like, guy, I know they do anything for passion.
Exactly.
Right? Let me make the money first, right? I will chase my passion later, you know. So there's that, right? So when you're doing anything, people are wondering, okay, what are you gaining out of this, right? What are you gaining out of this? But one of the things I've also come to discover often over time is that people that we see that we want to emulate today, when they started, you know, it was really rough for them. It was really, really rough for them, right? It's not like they had everything all figured out. It's not like they had all the support that they needed to have, you know, but regardless, over time, they were able to build that level of consistency and, you know, people accepted, you know, their message. We're even
thankful of the social media, the internet that we have now. At least it's pushing us out there. But back then, there's nothing like internet that will even push the whole thing that you want. So definitely, you get that recognition. People will know what you're doing. So far, you have put it out there for people to see.
Definitely. I get. So yeah. So what are the opportunities you think you've you know, so far, like you've started this stuff, you know, sharing content? What are the opportunities that you think has opened up?
They're not much.
Okay.
I will just start by mentioning one of the recognition that I've gotten from Startup Ariwa, which is an award for the rising star of the Startup by Startup Ariwa, sorry.
Okay.
So beside that, then from social media, also when I post some of this content, I get some of my followers tagging maybe those fields that I touch they tag them, and some of them get to follow me. So you see, that's kind of, of course, that's another recognition. I don't know where it will take you tomorrow.
Definitely.
And also getting contacts from people saying they want you to collaborate on projects. Either they are starting the project, or maybe they want you to join and be the one to pilot the entire digital literacy in Hausa language, maybe for a particular project. So I think those are the main things that I have gotten so far.
Interesting. Great. So I think we've even touched this already. Okay. Yeah. So you are like a senior woman. Because you're looking up to yourself on this, right? You're looking up to yourself on this, Okay. So what collaborations have you done so far with people?
It's still an in-house thing. The collaboration is still like within, just within us, the Hausa Tech content creators. Then also with data science, though I wasn't actually the one that did the main collaboration. I got people for them that will translate some content to them in Hausa. So up to now, there's nothing showing up.
Okay, but definitely something we should because that work is really unique in itself, I think, right? And I feel like there are a lot of opportunities, right? Because you're looking at the north. You're not just looking at Kaduna, right? You're looking at the north, and there has to be that transfer of knowledge, and it has to happen quick, like fast as possible. People need to get the message, right? Understanding how to use this stuff, how to use several technologies, how to even be creative. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of Hausa content creators. Sometimes I just look at it, even though I don't understand what they are saying, but I know that when fellow Hausa people who speak Hausa, who understand Hausa, sees that content, they can relate to it. Of course. Okay. How long does it take you to prepare for one video? Your own video?
Like 4 hours. 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. To create my script, translate the script, then shoot the content, editing.
Okay. Do you edit by yourself?
No, not by myself.
Okay.
When I started, I was the one doing the editing. But
there's someone volunteered to do it. Like let's support. You get amazing. So what's like, because you mentioned about 4 stuff that you do for data science Nigeria. That's Arewa Data Science.
Yes.
Yeah. You are the, what's it called again?
Assistant Program Manager.
Then for Women in Tech.
Women Tech Makers.
Okay, Women Tech Makers. Right, okay. Now, this is something, I think I've spoken to some young ladies in Kaduna before, and I've said this to them. I said, you want to get into the tech space, or you're in the tech space and you're not building communities. You cannot, one way to grow is also by building community. You build that level of accountability around yourself, and you're also pushing other people to grow. So what can you say has been like your experience? And would you tell other ladies, right? Because I feel like you go to some other areas in the country, I don't want to mention it, right? And you see a lot of people there are a lot of circles of this, of women tech makers, right?
Yes.
And the fact that there are more, you are able to, the entire ecosystem is able to grow faster, right? Because there are multiple people trying this thing out. So what do you think, how do you think you can advise young ladies to take up this stuff, right? Women tech makers, right? Okay, yeah. So.
To be honest, you have touched a part that has been itching me for a while now.
Okay.
Because being a community manager, especially for ladies-dominated community, is a huge challenge, especially in the North. So one of the biggest challenges that I've been facing is actually these women coming in and also sticking to that community. Not only the community, but maybe a particular field that they pick interest or showed interest that they want to learn. We'll have free courses. You preach about these free courses. You share about these free courses. You talk about it. They'll kind of show interest, 1 day, 2 day, maybe they will apply for it, they will get selected. Definitely, since these opportunities are for the ladies, they get accepted.
Yeah.
So it's left for them now to actually be that consistent and come in with their own discipline of being available. So that's one of the biggest challenge. They can show up maybe for a week. That's if the training is, let's say, for a month or two. They can show up consistently for a week or two, and from there, excuses will start coming.
What do you think is responsible for this?
I still don't understand. I want to say maybe it's the, should I say it's the kind of system or the kind of settings that we find ourselves in the North. Maybe we like comfort too much. I don't know. I still don't know what's the main reason, especially coming from the women. I don't know whether we love the comfort so much. And, being a Northerner, we all know that men are the main providers in the North. So maybe the narrative needs to change. We keep pushing this, we keep talking about it, but...
Okay.
I wonder what's happening.
Wow. Let's build on this, right? So they attend the program for a week consistently. Second week, consistent. Then the third week,
excuses.
They jump out.
Yes, excuses will start.
Excuses.
That's if you even get the excuses. And if the excuses come, it will be like maybe I don't have transport. Transport fare.
That's one. Transportation.
Transportation fare can be. And you start receiving text messages that I'm sorry that I'm sick.
Sick.
So I don't know whether the sickness is passing through all of them, because that has been, let's say, the major excuse.
Excuse, okay.
I'm sick. Then I don't have data. That's if the course is online. So those are the major excuses that have been gotten.
And they are valid?
Yeah, they are valid, but they are too much. They are too much.
Okay. Let me...
These are the same people that will be telling you, cut soup for me. How did you get this? How did you get that? But I always feel like if you have that discipline and you have the mind that you want to really achieve a certain thing, you have to put all your effort in ensuring that you have actually achieved it.
Nice.
Things will not just fall from the sky just like that.
That's very true. Right. I've spoken with some young people, right? I'm also a young man too. Fellow young people, let me put it like that.
Gen Zs?
No. I don't want to drag Gen Zs into this conversation. And I've said this, that excuses don't move you closer to your goals. Right? You give an excuse. Let's say, for example, someone says, oh, I'm sick. I'm not saying that the excuse is not valid. But the fact that you're sick would not change the fact that the work is not done.
And thank you. When they report that they are sick, you expect that when they recover from the sickness, they have covered the previous assessments or the previous classes they have missed. But believe me, they haven't. They will stick to that excuse that they have reported that they are sick. So that affected the whole, maybe the classes they have missed.
Wow, man, this is deep. I feel like the excuses are valid, right? So knowing that you mentioned three things: transportation, right? So it simply means anybody who is coming up with some training initiatives, right? Because if you look at other states, right, before they got to where they are right now, there were times they were doing these things. As they were pushing for this stuff, right, they were giving necessary, what's it called now, funding, right? So let me give this example, right? Somebody who gets a scholarship to go abroad, to study in university in UK or wherever, maybe Erasmus, for example, the person gets enough stipends so that there can't be any excuse. So the person gets enough stipends to cover accommodation, to cover transportation, to cover living expenses, right? And sometimes they have much to save, right? So doing that, they don't have any excuse to say, oh, you don't have internet, you don't have light, you don't have money to take care of yourself, right? And that has helped a lot of Nigerians, right, in order to cut down the excuses. So I feel like going forward, in terms of some of these organizations that do this free trainings, one of the things, considering the North, right? Considering the peculiarity of this space, right? Some of the things that should be provided for is transportation. I can't say about because you're living. If you are living here, your accommodation is definitely sorted out. So transportation and data are something that can reduce excuses.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
Health challenges are they are not controllable, right? So since they are not controllable, it simply means that we can work with that. And if somebody is sick, right, the person should catch up with the class afterwards, right? And also, you mentioned something about, some females, right? This is not all females. You get some females feel like, men are the providers. So if I learn it, if I know learner, I will still get married and, they will take care of my bills and all of that. I don't really care about really sorting out. I'm not saying it's all ladies, right?
Yeah.
But there are some ladies that are like that. But that has to change. And, for me, regardless of those excuses, I feel like it's a growth phase for the North, or to be specific for Kaduna. And because it's a growth phase for Kaduna, the life cycle of a project, right? There will definitely be some level of churning out, right? Some people would, fall, just because if they attend the first week and they are consistent, the second week and they are third week they are consistent, the third week something might have probably gone wrong, right? And these things, like you have said, are the reasons why, right? So I feel like maybe it should be looked into. And
okay, I will give you an instance with the Arewa Ladies for Tech project.
Okay.
I am part of those that are managing it. So beside having a physical session, we have a virtual session.
Yeah.
So just in case you have an excuse for not coming in the physical session, we have a provision for you for the virtual session. So this is the issue that I'm talking about them catching up with previous classes.
So that has been augmented for. Regardless, they still choose to say, I'm still sick. Wow.
And I salute click on Kaduna NatV Foundation for the data science project. They have provided all of this, and if you notice, there's zero excuses when it comes to things like this.
Very true, very true. Because I was part of the instructors, right? I get, before people join, there's been that conversation. If you will not be committed,
and they make it so clear.
Yeah, if you would not be committed, don't come close. Don't even near this place, and they were strict with that, and that has produced over time a lot of data scientists or data enthusiasts in this space, and I think it's really a good one, right? So I think a lot of discipline has to go into when people see applications, regardless of if they see that it's free or it's for women, it's not a license to take it for levity.
Exactly.
Right, because I feel like a lot of women have so many opportunities. You go up online and you see. For women.
Before you even see an opportunity that is open, you see
for every 10 opportunities, you see about 5 or 6 that are for women.
That just say women only.
Interesting. Women tech makers, women this, women that. Men, what are we doing? Let's start. Men tech makers, men funds, men, all man for himself. Right, that's really good, right? Anyways, let me ask this question. What you're doing is very, very, I feel like is very, very really good. So how do you think, what's your strategy in what are you doing to make other young ladies, or not necessarily be a lady, get enthused about interpreting tech or creativity in Hausa?
Women?
Not necessarily generally.
Okay. ever since I started, I receive a lot of messages of people saying that that's exactly what I wanted to do, and you're doing it. I'm like, just come up, let's continue to do it. I can't be the only one to just continue to do it. So I keep giving them that push that just create a video, 1 minute, just something, just say something and try to see how maybe you will do in the future videos. And these people keep saying I'm representing them. And that's so unfortunate. Some of them keep feeling that way, but I always I always give them that push that please do something, create something and share out so that we can all start doing something to support each other, and we'll be all noticed. All of us will get noticed.
So is it that they are scared of competing?
I don't know.
Okay. So I've had this conversation with my friends one time like that, and I said this. I believe, and I'll say it emphatically, that the North, and to be specific, Kaduna, needs some level of intensity.
Okay.
Right? And when I say intensity, I mean, Michael is doing Michael's box. It's not enough reason for you not to do yours, right? We want this message to go out fast and well, right? If I'm doing it, if my podcast is impacting on a 20%, right? You start your podcast, it can impact on 15, 35%, right? The more we keep eating people with the message, that intensity, the more we keep doing it, what would eventually happen is that they say a way to break the rock is by keep eating it, right? Yeah. If you keep eating it on the same space, keep eating it, it's breaking from within, right? And before you know it, it breaks, right? So I feel like people need to understand that the peculiarity of this space. You go to maybe Lagos and all these other states, you see that level of intensity. Today, one person is organizing creative meetup, and that next tomorrow, in fact, in a day, you can see 5, 10 tech events happening, right? Now, that intensity is what has driven the state to that level of productivity.
True.
Because somebody is saying this message in one way, another person is saying the same thing but in a different way. If you get it 10% here, you can get it 20% here. And the more that keeps happening, right?
It will spread.
It will spread. So my message, this is now me talking to everybody. Look me in the eye and repeat after me or repeat after us.
Okay.
In 2024.
In 2024.
No gree. In 2024, no grief for yourself, right? If you need to start, it's not even a matter of if you need, right? You need to start, right? We need to have more people doing this stuff. There's no, she's our representative. No. If you do it, every other person begins to see the value of what she's doing. Right? And the more we do that, the more we are able to drive this message and have a lot of people in the North get into the tech space and the creative space. Okay. And that is able to increase value, right? You're able to increase your value, you're able to offer services. You're not going to be dependent on somebody to give you money for the things that you really want to buy or the things you care about. You can afford them because you are giving value. It's 2024. Even me myself, I will not agree for you. If you are watching this, I will not agree for you. Because you need to start, right? The fact that I'm doing it or she's doing it doesn't mean you can't do it. It doesn't mean you should run away from it and say, they are representing us. I'm not representing you.
I'm doing it for myself.
Yes, I'm not representing you. Please. We need you. Yes, you. You. We need you to start. Right? It doesn't have to be perfect. So there's another thing I think, right? People think, yes, I know there's competition, right? But you can't improve on what you don't start.
Of course.
You understand? I know, for example, maybe when the first time you shot your Hausa content, it's definitely not as good as what you've maybe recently done. So many things have improved, right? Even from the time, maybe from the amount of time it takes you to do it to the thought that goes around it, right? So you can't work on something you don't start, right? I know there are people that all they just want to do is, just
support you. I'm not saying support is bad, right? Please support. I beg. It's not. It's beg. I beg. I'm not saying you should stop supporting us, right? But I'm just saying that if you have the capacity, but how do you even know you have the capacity? Just start.
You never know.
You never know.
Honestly, you never know. It's also when I started, when I traveled and we're having a discussion like this in settings, and everyone was asked to introduce himself and what he does for a hobby.
Yep.
And I mentioned about the Hausa tech. Like a lot of ladies that were there, some of them maybe from the neighboring African countries, they were like, in Hausa language? I was like, yes. They were like, how do you do it? Because they all feel like it's not something that is even possible, like to translate some of the terminologies that we have to the mother tongue. So it was then that I started even getting another international recognition that, oh, this is actually something that is possible, and we will also start to do it in our own mother language.
Exactly. We need this message to go around. We need people. We want to drive inclusivity. Yes, English is not my father's tongue. We want to drive inclusivity, right? So it simply means that we need to come to meet people at their level, right? If we want people to get here, sometimes we need to come down to the level and drag them up there, right? So somebody started learning tech in Hausa first. Does not mean the person cannot continue in English, right? But you've been able to bring that person out of that level that, oh yeah, this thing is difficult, because you have been able to bring it to the person's language and say, okay, this is it. It's not difficult. This is what it's all about. You're able to drive relatability, right? And the reason why a lot of creatives are really trending right now is because they are driving relatability, right? And these things take time, right? I know some people, the reason why they don't understand, like, it's now who don't chop belly food, they do these things, right? But you can start, right, from doing those little videos, right? If you can speak Hausa and you understand tech and creativity, there's that need for you to be able to, for you to, once in a while, you have a phone. It doesn't have to be, there's no, like, people who, for every person that is successful that I see today, right, they always have a throwback.
Of course.
Right? Nobody started all perfect. Even the person that even had all of the resources always had a throwback, right? If you look at Davido, for example, if you look at his throwback, he had all the money to get into music space. If you look at his throwback, himself, he will laugh at his throwback, because the way he started is not the way he is now, right? So please and please and please, I'm begging you, start. Right?
Start with what you have.
Start with what you have.
Where you are.
And where you are, right? You might not be getting the money at first, but over time you're able to build that recognition, and that recognition will open doors for you. Will definitely open doors for you. All right, good. So I think there was one question I asked that we missed, right?
Okay.
What do you want to? I've told females this, right? And maybe when you say it, they will get it better, right? That they need to start. I know there are so many female, there are so many, so like you have She Code Africa, you have Women in Tech, you have, I don't know, like possibly 3, right? I feel like maybe DG Girls, right? We need to have more people leading this community. There's nothing wrong with having up to 20 DG Girls ambassadors leading, driving this community in the North. So what can it, let's talk to them. Let's send a message home.
Okay. My advice would be, when opportunities like this come up, of course they do announce it. Like they announce it, they push it, they announce it. Just try to apply. Try to register for it. Follow Who Know Road. Like go.
Yeah.
Ask around those that have led in those position, how they have, let's say, scaled through it and all of that. Try as much as possible to get that mentorship from them, and from there you start building your own community. It mustn't even be in those leading chapters. You can start with your own existing, like your own local community at your own comfort zone.
Yeah, true. So start, right? I believe this conversation has been really insightful and really thoughtful. So yeah, and like I always promise, I've made a promise to everyone who listens to this, right, that for every episode, right, we're going to put in a lot of work in driving relatability and impact, right? You know, and I'm very certain that for people who are listening to this, you should have, or you will definitely have gotten one or two things, right, that you can take home from here, and this can lead you to start driving the message of tech and creativity in your language. It might not even just be in Hausa. It might be in Igbo, right?
Yeah.
It might be in Yoruba. It might be in whatever African language, right? In fact, for AI to thrive, right? AI depends a lot on data,
Of
right?
course.
And if there are not people, doing this stuff, right? Translating stuff in Hausa or in their mother tongue, right? You can't increase this access to other people, right? So, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, right? Uh, okay, yes, I almost forgot this. In this podcast, there's just one thing I always beg for, right? Or is it one? Maybe five, right? Wherever you see Marcus Box, all I just need you to do is just like, share, comment, follow, and subscribe, right? And as you do this, the message is able to go out faster, right? And Michael's Box will become a theme in Africa and the world, right? So thank you for listening and thank you for doing so.
Thank you.
It's been a
Thank
wonderful
you for
time.
having
Thank you so
me.
much. Thank you
for
so
having
much,
me.
Zainab, for honoring this invitation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where can we find her?
Okay.
She should tell us.
Okay. So
You ask her.
you cut. So yeah, for people who are wondering, oh, where's Zainab? Where can we find out? Where can we eat her? Where can we send? No, not eat like eat, like eat her. Where can we send that message? So Zainab, where's?
You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X. I'm
Okay.
almost everywhere.
Okay.
And YouTube, Creativity Enthusiast.
Creativity and stuff. So we're going to drop a link in wherever the comment section, the video, one way or the other. You're going to see the links, right? So you can follow. You can follow now. Follow on Instagram. X, you follow too, have you? LinkedIn, you connect. Which other one? YouTube. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Okay, on YouTube, you subscribe. Yeah, definitely. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you, Zainab, once again.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank you.